Hi Felters and welcome. This week we are looking at the BOHO hand-woven wool hanging kit from World of Wool, designed by Phoebe Hammonds. And I've wanted to try one of these for a while. It's about £42 from World of Wool, so fairly expensive, but the reason I got this one is because you get the frame with it, so that afterwards you can use the frame and do different, basically keep doing some more. So that's why I really like this. And this one comes with a dowel so that you can hang this piece that you make. It's a very neutral colour, but you've probably all got loads of wools yourself, so you can carry on making them afterwards, and you'll see at the end I do a second one. So the booklet looks really good. So first off, I'm just going to make up the frame. It's quite important which way round you get the top and the bottom bit. See the little indents should point upwards. I found that a little bit tricky to understand from the picture, but I got there eventually, and it's all quite easy. You can just move it. Then you have to put the warp yarn on, and I struggled. I wanted to get this right because I obviously consider this to be really important. So I did try and look on YouTube for anyone that had done this kit before, and I found nothing. But if you keep rereading the instructions, you do sort of get it. And it seemed to work really well. That wood in the middle underneath is the heddle, and that's the thing that you move, and it swaps the... I have never done anything like this before, so I really apologise to any weavers out there. And my stepmom has a loom and does loads of weaving. She is amazing. She's Sahara Textiles. I might link her actually, her Instagram, her stuff, her work is absolutely stunning. But this is a really simple introduction to it. So this is the shuttle that I've loaded up, and I'm just starting the very bottom part of it, which is actually going to hold the bottom tassels on. So here I am really tentatively trying to work out how to use it. So you push the shuttle across, then you turn the heddle, and that moves the warp yarn, sort of interweaves them the other way, and then you put it back through. So it's a really simple basic loom, but it's not too hard to follow. So I really enjoyed this, and you get this comb which moves the pieces down. And as an introduction, I thought this was really good. So doing the tassels along the bottom, they're very easy to understand, not a problem. The worst trouble I had was actually the wool yarn that was supplied. It was supplied in a twist, and I got in such a mess with it. I'll show you it in a minute. But so you do 2 rows of tassels at the bottom, and you have to fix them in between. I can sort of talk you through most of this because you have to buy the kit to get the actual loom itself. So here we are with this wool. It just got in such a mess. I'm not very good with handling the twists. So here we are. We've done a couple more rows with some of the merino. You get a oyster and sandstone colour in there, which is great because I had loads left over, so I can use them in my felting. And then we go a bit further up. One of the not stitches, I don't know what you call it, I had a little trouble understanding it, so I kind of just did my own thing after a while, and you can do that with this. And then I went back to it and I tried to do it. You'll see it in a minute, and I think I'm fairly successful with it. I just didn't understand the wording and the pictures, which is why for me I always find if there's a video, it's so much easier to be able to see what someone is doing on the video because you can start it. But after a while I went back to it and I just logically tried to work out how to do this. But this is me, I think, just doing my own bit. But then with the second piece that I do, I completely sort of make up pieces. So here I am. It's how you get this twist sort of going down, and it wasn't as complex as maybe I thought it should have been. It was quite easy in the end, but yes, it produces a really nice effect. But the instructions are thorough. I just didn't understand it completely. Maybe that was just me. And the back of my piece was embarrassing, but no one's going to see the back of mine. I don't think I'm going to be selling these. I'm not sure they are things that people would want from me. I don't know. I might take them to shows for people to see. And the second one, I had a nice piece of driftwood that I put it on. As you get closer to the top, it gets extremely tight, and this is where when you put the warp yarn on at the beginning, you don't do it too tight because it makes your life really hard towards the end of this. And that's something I didn't read till after I'd put all of the yarn on. Okay, see, this is the back of mine. Don't be guided by the back of mine, it's awful. So here I am tying off the top, which is really important, and it's very simple. Again, I didn't understand what they meant, but I just tied it off as best I could. And unfortunately, I forgot to tie off my other one, but it wasn't a problem. Like I said, I'm not going to be selling it and it looks fine. And then here we are, this is the fun bit. So you've got to cut all of the bottom, and then you take each pair of threads and you knot them through. Really simple to tie it all off. I thought it was all going to sort of fall apart, but it doesn't. It holds itself quite well. And because this part is under the tassels, it doesn't show, so that's handy. And with the second one, I forgot to do tassels at the bottom, so I just put some in afterwards. So tied that all off, then you pull it off the top, and then you're going to put it on whatever you want to put it on. Now they supply a dowel in the kit, so you've got one already made, but you could buy dowels really cheaply, or you could use whatever you want. And I think there's a range of ways in which you can tie it off, and I just copied the way that they did it with this funny sort of twist thing, and it looks really good. It works absolutely fine, but as long as you tie off the top row, that really helps. So here it is all done. And yeah, I think there's a few bits that are bumpy. Obviously it's not perfect. And I did forget to do a couple of the extra tassels that you can put on as detail further up. But I'll show you sort of, well, I did tassels on the other one at the bottom. So this is all the wool I've got left over, absolutely tons. So you could easily carry on and do another one in the neutral. And the warp yarn, that black, I've got loads of that. So I forgot to do those tassels on it as they sort of further up. But I still had fun and I still enjoyed it, and I carried on that night. So this is me with my wool from my stash, and then this is the next day carrying on. I managed to find some nice tops that sort of matched in as well. But yeah, I just had a bit of fun, really enjoyed it, did a bit of plaiting. So yeah, I plaited some of the yarn, just tried to come up with different ways of doing it. I think I would like to do one which is all just one piece of the same sort of just felting it through, or feeding it through, not felting. But yeah, look at this. I mean, I love the fact that I can now keep doing this and do other bits and pieces. Will it be something I will sell in the future? I'll have to look and see what other people's work is like. I'm going to Yarndale in September and see what other people do and sell, because I have seen wool hanging things up. But yeah, it's lovely. Look at it. Look at the colours. And that's on the driftwood. So definitely really enjoyed it as something different, working with wool. This is sort of my weaving area now, and really recommend it from the fact that you can carry on and make another piece yourself. So I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you get an idea of what the kit's all about. So World of Wool is about £42. So thanks for watching. Any questions, pop them below, and we'll see you again next time. Bye.